Today I harvested these 2 rows of Gold Mine string beans, and for our first picking we've got a 5-gallon bucket. I lost 3 plants because the weight of the beans were so heavy onto the plant, it just leaned them over and broke them. A couple plants or so we had to pick them not quite yellow yet because they were touching the ground, and some of them started rotting because string beans, if they touch the ground, just notice that, if they touch the ground, then they'll start rotting, especially if they're laying down onto it. So we'll go ahead and take these right here and get them off the ground. Oh, there's another one I missed. I probably missed some. For the first picking, this is not bad at all. Now they'll usually get bigger as time goes on. Maybe the next harvest or the harvest after that, they'll be pretty big or big enough. And even if they just got that size, I'm pretty content with it. So Gold Mine beans are pretty productive. The chard is ready to harvest, and this is looking beautiful. We picked 2 zucchinis. I got them setting up there. Yellow zucchinis, and that's those right there, yellow zucchinis. And you notice I don't have that many leaves like laying everywhere. It's because I cut them off. Trying to see if I could see, squash bugs that we are so bad at getting around here. We got some straight neck fixing to come off. So everything is looking pretty good. Tomatoes are loaded down. Everything is dry right at the moment. Well, it's dried out, I'll put it that way. Especially the raised beds. We're getting rain tomorrow. Tomatoes are looking super wonderful. I haven't really gone in there to see how many tomatoes there are. So on Google it said that these would determine it. First time me growing reduce in the greenhouse, they look like indeterminate. So I might have to take and retrellis these. But I do like what I'm seeing so far as the tomato production. I did cut some leaves out, but there's a lot of leaves in there. But the size of the tomatoes are looking pretty good. Get the leaves out of the way. They're looking pretty good. No complaints on that. Pink eye purple hulls are looking dynamite. Marigolds do wonderful out here in the garden. Then we got our cucumbers going on here, and we've been dealing with cucumber beetles. These is running squash, running okra. First time of growing those, so this is definitely new. And then we got the eggplants down here. Son is doing some work onto the cauliflower. That is a Japanese eggplant. Way back there in the corner is the sweet potatoes. Potatoes are up. Peanuts are growing back there. And then the okra is taking off. Random corn up there. I need to throw some fertilizer to it, but I didn't get to it. Some baby okra is growing. Had to replant because it gets really dry right here. And then we got some peanuts. We don't grow peanuts, but North Carolina is a great place of growing peanuts, so we're going to give it a shot here. This is the white velvet okra. That was sent to me from a subscriber in Virginia, and also the running okra. And then we got some bell peppers there. That one needs to be staked up. And back over there, things need to be extremely watered. So we got this one okra plant. Don't know what the deal is, but it's dying out. But actually, you see the distance, so it's not a big deal. The pink eye purple hulls are starting to put out some runners. Love how those tomatoes look though. Row of variety of squash down there. And then here is the cauliflower that this heat is starting to take a toll on it. So we don't know if we're going to be, starting to flower up down there, but I got some kind of insect. I don't know if they're like, they're little tiny worms, and sometimes they start out so small you can't even see them. You need a magnifying glass to see them. But the heat's coming on, so we'll see. We've been harvesting the broccoli and some baby broccolis. We've been getting those off of there. And then we got those gold mine beans. So I planted only one row of gold mine beans last year, and I got all the string beans I needed. This year I planted 2. And then here we got these foot-long string beans. I didn't get to finish planting that row because of the rain, and then the potatoes are up. And then there goes the peanuts, and then the sweet potatoes. Now I got some, I think some sweet potato slips over there growing. We are in the middle of May. I actually plan on getting out here and maybe look at that. That's that worm I'm talking about. They start out really small. I don't know what they're called, but we can get rid of him. See, they put out these little holes like that, and they'll eat your plants up. Everything is definitely starting to dry out after this heat. So this is our first harvest of gold mine beans, string beans. And this is what I sit on, not to break my back. And that is the rutabagas. And then I haven't got a trellis up for a winter squash. So far, I think the garden's looking pretty good. Doing things differently this year. Trying to make things a little bit more simplified. But last year we had corn, so now, if I had planted the corn, but then again I wouldn't have room for the peanuts. Well, this is the view of the garden at this point in time. So we harvested a garlic yesterday. This is a store-bought garlic that I started 3 years ago, and I get tons of garlic. I think I spent at that time maybe $6, $8 for garlic, and so I'm on my 3rd year of getting garlic. So right now we're just getting it. It's pretty much had dried out into the raised bed. We're just finishing it up, and I got a fan over it, so it'll continue drying, and then we'll put it. What I do is I put it into the refrigerator because this is a lot of garlic. And it stores very well that way, but I make sure it's dried out completely, and then I just store it into the refrigerator. Then we got these potatoes in there from the garden yesterday, the Yukon Gold. So we harvested carrots yesterday. Carrot bed looks terrible at this point in time. That carrot right there is making seeds. This is where the garlic was at, and you have to excuse all the mess because we're harvesting right at the moment. And that means it becomes a little bit messy. So once the carrots are up, and all of them's completely up, then I'm going to take that dirt out and put it over here, get this bed filled up more so, and then move this bed out. So it's got some work to be done in here. And this right here is making seeds. This is a, I believe it's called a walking onion. I dug it up at an old homestead. Oh wow, years ago when I was pregnant with my son, and at this old place that was about to fall in, and I went out there and dug it up. But you see the seeds. I need to get out here and start harvesting some of those seeds. Then we got the garlic chives. I got like the walking garlic chives. I think it came from there too. I've had those for years. Right now the heat's kicking in, so things are starting to look crazy, but it's all good. So I'm gonna throw those in there.